Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum, Ukhanet, Likai, Sawbona. It is Women's Month and it's so important for me to spend a minute and first of all talk on behalf of my family and the women in them. And also to let you know that it is important that I've realized that the abuse of women is something that's uncontrollable at the moment. And that you as women out there, young, old, very young, you don't need to put up with it. You have options. We come from a very conservative community. A lot of us do, the Afrikaners, the black people, the Muslim people. I'm not forgetting anyone, I hope, including colored people. As South Africans, we're very conservative. And generally, when you have abuse in your home as women, you tend to think, it's only happened one time, it's okay. And what happens, you have the husband saying, you know what, it won't happen again, I promise. And once that promise is broken, it runs into, if he's done it once, he'll do it twice. If he's done it twice, he'll do it 100 times. It doesn't make it right for you. You have an option. And remember, when you have an option, or you have options, then you're no longer officially a victim. So it's important for you guys to understand that you need to rise above being a victim and making sure that you voiced and making sure that you seek the right help from your family, from your friends, from the authorities where necessary. I mean, nobody wants to be in that position where you go and argue at a police station or be in that position where your children are more affected by this abuse. I don't know anyone that hasn't been subject to this type of thing. I've had this problem in my company where someone in my management that was not abusing women, but had an issue around sexual abuse, or should I say sexual misconduct. And I dealt with it aggressively because they are so special. These women in our lives are so special. The mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the wives, our children, the little girls. So very important for us. And we have this month so that we have the opportunity just to reflect, just for us to understand the pain that they go through and the women that what affects these women in the short, medium, and long term. But what's more important for me to take note of is that when we have children that's added into a home that has this problem, it now becomes a very different type of problem. It's no longer just a women abuse problem. It's now filters down onto the children. It becomes a problem with the kids. And that's so hectic because you want beautiful, healthy, laughing children. The other day, my wife sent me a picture of my son, my 4-year-old son, who was laughing at the top of his epitome of laughter. It's just a picture that just showed complete happiness. And it made me realize it's because we create the environment for those children that trust us and put this amazing amount of trust in us so that they can just be happy. They trust us. Now, there's nothing different to your wife trusting you. She's a gift from the Almighty. And nobody wants to break such a beautiful gift. So you never want to find yourself in a position to break them down to the point where they're unhappy, where they feel like they're prisoners sometimes, where they feel like they've been abused at emotional levels, which is even harsh, sometimes even worse than physical abuse. Not that I'm advocating that in any way. But that brings me to another topic, In most of these corporates, I don't know how they're handling this. I was so disappointed, and I still am, with this Sam Saul fellow. He keeps on disregarding the fact that he has a responsibility to the public, to us, to everyone, to explain what his chairman done with those young girls and those apples. I was just laughing with my son yesterday, saying, this guy thinks he's above the law. He can steal stuff. He can not account about sexual abuse of people in his work environment, his chairman, and shift the status and shift the issues elsewhere. It's not okay. It's conduct like that which doesn't allow us to rectify problems like this. And Sam, you need to know that you have daughters, you have a wife, and you have responsibilities to the South Africans that listen to all the nonsense that you write every day so that you can be in a position to gain their confidence back. So I'm still waiting for that report about where this chairman went around giving apples to young girls at their tables in universities. And it just reminded me about that Snow White. That's for a different discussion, and how she ate the apple, etc. But it just, in my mind, it's just so ridiculous to think that an institution that says they are such wonderful people and they're doing things in the interest of democracy and so on, sweep this dirty stuff underneath the carpet and just don't want to give a report. So we should not allow institutions like that. And I'm not only saying to Sam, it's only the one I know about now, but Sam, you're a disgrace to society if you do not and you are unable to give a report. You're not going to sweep this underneath the carpet. You must answer. And this is the month in which you must answer. And I'll continuously badger you for this, because that's the start-off point for me to try and create a proper rectification of bad behavior. But to the women out there, I can tell you that as I'm getting slightly older, your value is becoming more and more important to me. Because as we go down the road and we reflect on our lives, we understand that the backbone of our homes are our mothers. The backbone of happiness at any table, women entertaining you, women looking after you. From the time you're born till the time you die, hopefully your wife is there with you and your daughter's at the side of your bed and your sons, obviously. But a family can't exist without good women. And everyone has them in their homes. So let's just take our hats off. I'm not taking this one off today for them and give them the respect, love, attention, and affection they deserve. Just please take time out. If you've done something wrong, you can't change it. If you've hurt your wife, you hurt somebody, go out there, seek the compassion to understand that they're also human beings. They hurt. You try and repair yourself as men when it comes to these type of things. But I wish you all wonderful ladies, including the team that we've now sponsored, the ladies hockey team for South Africa to go to AFCON. I'm rooting out there for you. I know you're going to win, and if you don't, you'll be answerable. Sending lots of love.